This year's Logicalis CIO Report 2026 captures a global inflection point. AI has moved beyond a technology to become a defining force in enterprise IT leadership. CIOs are accelerating adoption, yet many signal that organizational strategy, skills, and governance aren't keeping pace. Less than half have fully aligned their AI strategy with business goals, and 51% worry that the current pace is simply too fast. So today, I've invited some of Logicalis' regional CEOs to explore how IT leaders around the world are balancing ambition, productivity, and governance. I'm joined by John Groves, Logicalis US CEO, Neil Eek, Logicalis UK and Ireland CEO, and Win Lee, Logicalis Asia Pacific CEO. We're going to cover some of the key themes in the report and how they play out amidst very different markets. So we'll be talking about AI readiness and governance, scaling AI responsibly beyond pilots, sustainability in the age of AI, and managing security and shadow AI. One of the biggest challenges we hear from this year's report is that while AI is accelerating, and some say too fast, it's outpacing organizational alignment, creating compliance and governance gaps. John, what are you seeing in the USA, and specifically, how are US CIOs harnessing AI while maintaining control and governance?
Yeah, so listen, CIOs in the US are absolutely focused on and accelerating AI, as the survey identified that. But they also understand that they have the need for really optimizing that environment for production-ready environments. It's one thing to say that you want to employ AI. It's another thing to have the infrastructure ready for it or have the platform security models in place to be able to deliver it. And really what CIOs are struggling with is really both the expectation of their environment as well as the capability of their environment from an IT perspective. And so they want standardized data, risk, and security models that help them really operate. The one thing that we do see consistently is that the organizations that are really moving fast are the organizations that really mainstream AI in the context of it's part of their strategic strategy versus being just another project that they're toying with, I guess would be the way I would say it.
Thanks, John. Win, how does this align with what you're seeing in Asia Pacific?
Very similar, actually. I think for the last perhaps what two and a half years, we've seen many customers start to get their feet wet in AI. A lot of them using Gen AI solutions like what Microsoft's Copilot first brought to the table, right? But fast forward to today, based on the conversations that I've had with CIOs, like just within the last 2 months, what I found is that many of them have come a long way, and today they are ready to actually start and embark on their actual AI application development journey, right? And many of them are now looking to download LLMs, large language models, some of them open source, others licensed, and develop their own AI applications, right? So what we're seeing in APJC is suddenly what you hear couple of years ago, where every company has become a software company, or not. What we're seeing right now is that every company wants to be an AI company and wants to develop their own AI applications. So this presents obviously opportunities for companies to differentiate, but at the same time challenges that they need to address as well. List of which is AI safety, right? And that's the role that we can help, right? How do we ensure, as customers embark on the AI journey, that we're able to help them deploy AI in a safe and resilient way?
One of the challenges that we see time and time again in our customers is that they struggle to move from proof of concept to full implementation. Neil, in the UK, you've worked with many customers on moving from proof of concept to implementation, for example, in private 5G. How is scaling AI any different?
Scaling AI is very different to something like P5G, as you mentioned. You deploy P5G, you implement the network, and it's a proven technology that scales. With AI, it impacts so much of your business. It impacts your organization. It impacts the skills that you've got. You've got to look at your data quality, your security posture. And I think that's why 78% of CIOs are lacking the confidence in the ability to scale AI. As I said, it really does touch on all aspects of the organization. And that's part of the challenge that John alluded to earlier for organizations.
Any thoughts from you, Win, on that?
Well, yeah, for sure. I think many customers have progressed from developing their initial minimal viable products, and many of them did it in the cloud, right? What we're seeing is that as customers start to shift from MVP to production, for various reasons, such as data privacy, we find that customers now are looking to bring that AI applications on-premise, right? And oftentimes this is also actually maybe even a hybrid cloud architecture. So when that happens, so naturally, basically the role that Logicalis can play is how do we help customers ensure that the hybrid cloud architecture that we put forward for them is fit for purpose, from a AI safety, from a network perspective, from a compute perspective, for the AI applications that they are looking to deploy.
That's really interesting, Win. Thanks. Let's switch gears a little now. We know that deploying AI is super power intensive, and despite CIOs being very focused on carbon and energy management in previous years, this year, less than a third are extremely confident that they can actively manage and measure AI's environmental impact. Neil, how are UK&I customers approaching sustainability in relation to artificial intelligence?
Well, Bob, it's still a very, very important topic for CIOs that we talk to, not just in the UK and Ireland, but also across Europe, especially those that have carbon commitments within, from the board, those that are, measuring their Scope 2 and Scope 3 emissions, like most organizations that we work with. But AI presents a bit of a challenge for them. They want to start using AI not only to see the improvements in things like operational efficiency that they can get, but they want to be able to measure the output from AI. For example, can they get real-time insights on the specific models that they're getting? Can they embed more AI into the organization that improves operational efficiency, but then, what are the impacts of that? So there's some definite challenges there for them. A lot of organizations that we talk to are starting to look at seeing how they can embed CO2 telemetry into the models, and then at the same time use organizations like Logicalis to build that infrastructure to manage it so they don't have to do the heavy lifting.
Great. Win, security remains a hot topic for Asia Pacific, with 81% of CIOs reporting an attack in the last 12 months. Staggering statistic. Where can AI play a role in helping CIOs respond to cyber attacks?
Oh, I think it's critical that we use AI right now to really increase the efficacy of our cybersecurity solutions. The reason being is that AI itself is a tool. This tool can be weaponized by threat actors, right, to increase the overall efficacy of their threats that they are unleashing on enterprises. Everything from deepfakes to much higher quality phishing emails, right? And what's critical is that we employ AI as a tool to increase the efficiency, effectiveness of our cybersecurity solutions that we're using right now. At the same time, what threat actors do is that they are attacking enterprises 24/7, right? And so being able, as an MSP, being able to help our customers detect any threats that might be happening within the environment 24/7 is critical. And what AI can be utilized for is also to help our analysts be much more efficient and be able to do more with less, right? By increasing the efficiency, being able to tap security LLMs to better manage events as they happen, right? And at the same time, the technology partners that we work with now also have AI embedded within their portfolios, and this increases the richness of the functionality that we can use to protect our customers.
But let's expand on this theme of visibility. John, you'll recall the term shadow IT from around 10 years ago, driven in many ways by frustrations with the IT department and the ease of new SaaS-based technologies. Well, now the term shadow AI has come up in this year's report, with many CIOs reporting it as a concern. How are US organizations tackling shadow AI, and what's the risk here?
Yeah, you know, the risk is significant. When you think about shadow AI, you're exposing your data probably in a way that you haven't before. Your security threat vectors increase in the context of the threat to your company. So data exposure, and then really untruthfully, the exposure to unknown opportunities for hackers to hack your environment. And so it creates a dynamic challenge for CIOs. In fact, in the CIO report, only a third of the CIOs really felt like they had visibility control over their AI environment. And the challenge for them is not the challenge ultimately is they're going to have to deal with AI, right? And their customer base is going to use it. And so that what they have to do is really create a construct, a structure, a governance around that to enable the effective use of it while at the same time securing it. And I think that's the biggest challenge right now that we're seeing with CIOs in the AI environment.
Now, we've heard a lot about agentic AI over the past year, with 60% of CIOs globally planning to invest in the next 12 months. Following on from that is some good news for MSPs, because a staggering 94% of CIOs plan to lean on managed service providers to manage all of this complexity. John and Neil, is this stat a surprise to both of you? And how are CIOs in your regions preparing for agentic AI? And what is the role of MSPs like Logicalis to support them? John, let's start with you.
Yeah, well, first of all, I think agentic AI is probably one of the most exciting things about AI in and of itself. And it does require, obviously, a deep amount of focus on the infrastructure. It changes the way we look at the infrastructure today. But really, that's not where a lot of the challenge is for most of our clients. It's more in the operational readiness component of how do they govern this environment? How do they put security around it? How do they manage their data? How do they deliver a functional tool that's focused on their business outcomes? So that's where, honestly, that's where Logicalis comes in. We consult with our clients around data governance models. We consult with them around how to employ it for driving toward the outcomes that they're looking for in the context of agentic AI, but also the infrastructure as well. So we take a holistic view of it and really drive toward a business outcome that leverages both agentic AI and just the data components that go with that.
And Neil, your thoughts?
I'd agree with John. I think it's one of the most exciting areas and areas where organizations can get real value from. Talking to CIOs, they see agentic AI as one of the key areas that can drive real productivity improvements, accelerating that for their organizations. In Europe, as you'll know, Bob, regulation is very, very strict. We've had DORA in this too. We've got the EU AI Act now that organizations have to work within. So it's not without its challenges. And as John said, our job as Logicalis is to help organizations to implement those infrastructures, put the guardrails in place that secure the data, make sure it's the right fit for the organization, that they can then scale that. And we touched on some of the challenges around scaling it out. And our job as the MSP is to guide them through that process so that they know that when they have implemented and we've implemented it with them, they've got the right infrastructure that's secure, that has the right policies and procedures in place that meet all those requirements that they have. And they're ready then to fully realize the value within their organization.
Thanks, Neil. And as you point out, both of you, we all know that making sure that your data has the right level of security around it is a critical aspect to making sure that AI is a success in the future. Thanks to our CEO panel, John Groves, Win Lee and Neil Eek. And if you'd like to receive a copy of this report, or if you're a Logicalis client and you'd like a one-to-one briefing on these findings, please get in touch via info@logicalis.com. That's info@logicalis.com.